I never believed in ghosts. Growing up in the bustling heart of New York City, I always thought the supernatural was for small towns and old, creaky houses. But that all changed when I moved into the apartment on 14th Street. It was a steal, a one-bedroom, top floor in an old brownstone. The landlord seemed eager to rent it out, almost too eager. I chalked it up to my good luck and signed the lease without hesitation. The first night was quiet, but on the second night, things started to get strange. It began with a soft tapping on the walls. I figured it was just the old pipes or maybe even the neighbor next door. But the tapping grew louder and more insistent, following me from room to room. I tried to ignore it, but then the whispers began. They were faint at first, like the wind blowing through a crack in the window. But soon I could hear them clearly, murmurs of voices, speaking in hushed tones, almost like they were afraid of being overheard. I couldn't make out the words, but the tone was unmistakable, pleading, desperate. Sleep became impossible. The whispers grew louder, more frantic, and always seemed to be right behind me. I started seeing shadows moving in the corners of my eyes, but when I turned, nothing was there. I convinced myself I was just tired, that it was all in my head. But then I found the photographs. They were hidden in a small, dusty box at the back of a closet. Black and white photos of the apartment, but from decades ago. In each photo, there were people, men, women, children, all standing in the same room I now lived in. And in every single photo, they looked terrified. Their eyes wide with fear, mouths open in silent screams. I took the box to the landlord, demanding an explanation. His face turned pale when he saw the photos. He mumbled something about previous tenants, and they all disappeared, before practically shoving me out of his office. I started researching the building, trying to find any information about what had happened here. What I found chilled me to the bone. Over the years, dozens of tenants had lived in that apartment, and all of them had vanished without a trace. The police never found any bodies, no signs of foul play, just gone. I decided to leave, but by then, it was too late. The whispers were louder than ever, echoing in my ears no matter where I went. The shadows became more solid, and I could feel cold fingers brushing against my skin. On my last night in the apartment, I saw them, the figures from the photographs. They stood at the foot of my bed, their eyes hollow, their mouths twisted in silent screams. They reached out to me, their hands cold as ice, and I knew then that I was next. I fled that night, leaving everything behind. But even now, as I write this from the safety of a new apartment miles away, I can still hear the whispers. They're growing louder, and I know it's only a matter of time before they find me again. If you ever find yourself on 14th Street, do yourself a favor, stay away from that brownstone, because once you enter, you may never leave.